So this is the dead man, and essentially it keeps a good solid surface, because if I didn't put this in here and I tried hammering on this, I would surely loosen this up or maybe even break it or split it and whatever. Now what I got to do after these legs are on is I got to drill 2 holes here, and using smaller nails I'll be nailing through the top into here. Slightly smaller nails. Anyways, when I'm done with this side, I'll flip it over and do this side, and then I'll take the dead man and I'll move it over here. That piece in. Now I move the dead man over to this side. Do the same to that side. So when I get the legs on here, the next step is going to be, besides nailing into the top here, is going to be to make this the part that's in the middle, like on the other one. Part here. Well, we're not going to probably do it this way. What I'll probably do is I'll put a cleat from one leg to the other. That'll be a reinforcement. Instead of doing this here business, I'll put the cleat on the inside going right straight across. And then a piece of plywood or something on here, or maybe a 2x4 or something so I can stand on. So, because I may not want to go all the way to the top, similar to this one. I usually work from this surface, and if I need to be higher, then I go on here. This is a little more sturdy than a little tiny step ladder. Well, I think I made her a little bit too much of a spread eagle, but hey, that's all right. Now, here's what I'm saying. We're going to put a piece in here, going across here, and that's going to be the center shelf, and that will also, or the center step, if you want to call it that, that'll reinforce this even further. So, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, that's big. All right. Well, anyways, we're going to nail on here, in here, 4 nails, smaller nails, to reinforce the legs even further. What she looks like on the ground. So, when this shelf gets put in, it'll be about here. So I'll be able to step in here. In the same way with this side. So it's like a 2-sided step ladder. Similar to this other thing I made. Did have a problem here with a split, but I did hammer the head point off a little bit on it, but I probably should have used a smaller nail or pre-drill. This is why you pre-drill. You normally don't pre-drill into the stock you're nailing into. The wood that's carrying the nail, as long as the head don't go through, you pre-drill. But no, I should have really pre-drilled this a little bit halfway down. Well, you live and learn. Like I say, I'm not a carpenter. Well, got a little bit of a problem here. I want to make this all out of pressure treated, which everything in here is pressure treated, including this piece. But that's all I got. Well, I want to come down. This is going to be on the inside, of course. It's going to be like this on the inside. I want to come down about halfway the length of this leg, so I'll have a step here. But I'm going to have to use this piece, which is good and solid, but it's not pressure treated. It came off my swing set that I built 16 years ago when Tommy was a little boy. And an old rotten tree came down and busted it up, but I saved some wood from it. This is solid wood, but it's not pressure treated, so we're going to have to use some of that, because after all, it ain't well, I ain't building it for anybody but myself, so that's what we'll do. I don't like doing stuff like this, but it's a good solid piece of wood, and we're going to use it. For this side, we're going to use this here. We got to cut it and so forth. I'm going to show you a little trick now. In order to get this angle the same, so you know where to put this, you know what I mean? Drop a 2x4 in there. Put this up there like that. Okay. Okay, now you got everything's in the same plane as this here. And you draw your line here. And I already measured this out. So that my step here, from here to the top of this step, which is going to be a piece of plywood, is going to be approximately the same as from here to here. It's not going to be perfect. Okay, we're not worried about that because the other one wasn't either. But if you don't put this here, you got a hell of a time trying to figure out, well, is this thing straight or is it cockeyed like the guy that's building it, or what? Well, you just put that right like that, put that up there. You slide this down so you can get a mark on here. So you slide it over, make sure that that's in. You get your mark. Get your mark. It's very hard for me to do this and hold the camera too. Alright, there's my mark. Okay? Now you go over to this side and you get your mark here. Okay? Just to make sure you didn't screw it up, bring this back over, bring this down, and double check your mark, and she's right on. There it is. Take that out of there, like that, and there's your mark. So that's where your, this is where your 2x4 is going to go. This will be the top, and there'll be a little trim in here. I'm not going to be able to get the whole angle here all the way to the end. I'm not going to worry about that. This is just a place to put a piece of plywood, so it also braces the legs, and in addition to that, gives you a place to stand, and actually it gives me more of a spot to stand than on the other one. What I did here, so you just can take this piece right out. So when you do it that way, you don't even really have to put a mark on it, but that's what I did. And we just cut it on an angle like this. The wood is a little short, so I couldn't flush it out with this, but it's only for a shelf, so it doesn't matter. And we'll do the same. We'll flip it over and we'll do the other side. And like I say, the wood is a little short. Both of these were, so I couldn't really flush them out like I wanted to. But it's only a stool, and so I'm not going to go out and buy more wood, even if it is only 51 cents a piece. The sun sets in the west. This concludes this project, although it may not be one of my best. Thank you for watching.